Alrighty, people, here we go. It's time. The one, the only
Demon Hunter.
In this guide, I'm going to take you through the build, gearing, stats, talents, rotations, and all that good stuff to get you going. So grab your nuts. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find it useful. And let's go! So this is the pretty standard inertia build where the bulk of our damage is going to be built up in these inertia windows through the use of Immolation Aura. Now, Immolation Aura does two things. Firstly, it triggers Rage Fire. So each time it does damage, it stores some of that damage and then creates an explosion at the end. So it's really important that you're using Immolation Aura on the target or in the pack to make sure you maximize the damage that it's going to do. Secondly, it triggers Unbound Chaos, which again does two more things. It increases the damage of your Fell Rush, but that also gives you the opportunity to then trigger Inertia through Fell Rush. So always remember it's Immolation Aura into Fell Rush to trigger Inertia to then use one of your big damage dealers. So Death Sweep, Blade Dance, Eye Beam, the Hunt, Glaive Tempest, Essence Break. You only want to really be using those in Inertia as much as possible to make sure you're maximizing your damage. We do take Glaive Tempest for AoE or M+, but if you want a bit more single target, you can swap that for Essence Break. It still does some decent cleave damage, but it's primarily used for single target. So I just keep Glaive Tempest on for AoE. If you want to look for a slightly simpler rotation, especially for raid, this is purely single target, but it doesn't involve any fell rushing around and bouncing around all over the place. It's a bit more stationary. We dropped our Inertia, obviously, and Unbound Chaos. We lose Rage Fire, but we do pick up this middle column, which is going to boost our demonic form, which we get to from Eye Beam or Metamorphosis. It's just a bit easier to get to grips with. It still does really, really good damage. Doesn't really do too well in AoE, but it's still a strong build. And then over on the left-hand side, we're just going to pick up everything really that is going to give us some nice utility. So we're going to take Sigil of Misery, Imprison, and Chaos Nova, which are all interrupts or stuns or crowd control. Improved Disrupt, which is your main interrupt. It just increases that range, which is really nice, especially as a melee class. Obviously, we take the Hunt because it's a big damage dealer. And then you've got Darkness, which is a nice little AoE, almost immunity for you and your group. And then there's Fellblade, which is, you know, useful for building Fury and as a bit of a gap closer as well. Alrighty then, so when it comes to gearing, we want to stack Crit and Mastery at the top, followed by Versatility and Haste. That being said, don't neglect Haste, as it's really, really useful for our build. But as always, an eye level increase will take priority as this is going to increase your agility, giving you more raw damage. We're going to focus on getting the tier set in the chest, head, hands and legs as soon as possible. But if you've only got it so far, I know it's early in the season, the 2-piece is still really, really strong. Then we can run Crafted, Lifebound, Belt and Bindings to fill 2 more slots. For your embellishments, we want blue silken lining in 2 places, such as the belt and wrists. Or there's the option you can go for Toxic Thorn foot wraps with Toxified armor patch on the wrists. But blue silken lining is going to be your best in slot. When it comes to trinkets, our quote unquote best in slot is going to be Ashes of Ember Soul and Pip for M+. But Manic Grief Torch and Augury of the Primal Flame are really, really strong. If you want pure single target, the Pocket Anvil and Cataclysmic Signet are going to be your strongest options so far. Then when it comes down to your consumables, we're going to use Sophic Devotion on the weapon for AoE, or Wafting Devotion for single target. On your cloak, you want Graceful Avoidance, Chest, Waking Stats, Bracers, Devotion of Avoidance, Belt, Shadowed Belt Clasp, Leggy Pops, Fierce Armor Kit, Boots, Watcher's Loam, and your rings, Devotion of Critical Strike or Mastery, depending on how your stats are shaping up. Then we're going to use Elemental Potion of Ultimate Power as our potion. And then for our food, 1000 Bone Tongue Slicer. And then for your gems, basically it's going to depend on how your stats are looking. So if you need more crit, get some crit gems. If you need more mastery, get some mastery gems. So for your opener, we're going to use Sigil of Flame, 2 seconds pre-pull, Immolation Aura, Fell Rush in, Fell Blade to build some fury, into Eye Beam and Trinket, the Hunt, Glaive Tempest, another Immolation Aura, Fell Rush, Death Sweep, Vengeful Retreat, cancel the animation with Metamorphosis if you can, into another Death Sweep, and then into Eye Beam. And then outside of the opener, it's just a case of building Fury and spending Fury. So, you know, keep your Fell Blade for when you're low on Fury. Immolation Aura is going to build your Fury anyway, as is Vengeful Retreat. So use those off cooldown. Make sure you're Fell Rushing into the packs rather than out of them to trigger your inertia windows. And keep your inertia for Blade Dance or Death Sweep, Eye Beam, the Hunt, Glaive Tempest, your bigger damage dealing abilities. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. It's just managing Fury, using Fury, and making sure that you're utilizing your inertia windows on your bigger hitting abilities. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for my Demon Hunter guide for Season 4. As always, appreciate anybody for watching and hanging out. Please, if you like the content or you want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe. And drop a comment in the comments, funnily enough, and let me know what you think. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.